Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back. I am still wrapped in my blanket. It is fucking cold. Alright. Review for you today. Recently, for book club, we read Jonny Appleseed by Joshua Whitehead. So, this book did win the Canada Reads 2021, top prize, top place. I feel like I'm gonna insult some people here. It shouldn't have. That's it. I've read 3 of the 5 novels now. One was a nonfiction. I have read 3 of the 5 books that were the shortlist for Canada Reads 2021 now. And even from those 3, this would not have been my pick to win. Butter Honey Pig Bread would have been my pick to win, if we're being entirely honest. This book is not a winner to me. Say it how it is there. I mean, I eyed 20 years lists of Canada Reads, and I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she just said, they're not all winners. I feel like she was talking about this book because she's read it. It's on Goodreads. She gave it a 3. I was just like, don't disagree. So Jonny Appleseed is a two-spirit indigiqueer living in Winnipeg and working as like a cybersex sex worker, meeting in person and cybersex. Trying to make some money to get back to the res to go to stepdad's funeral. But like this goes back and forth in like timelines, kind of all over the place. Nothing is in order. It's revealed to you not in order. It's kind of all over the place, but it doesn't tell you where it is in the timeline until you're like reading it and you're like, oh, when you were a kid, okay. So this is kind of a thing that I call a nothing novel. There's not a huge amount of plot of like things going on. It very much reads like nonfiction, like someone's telling their personal story. Now, Joshua Whitehead has coined what they call a bio story. So I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. It's like, this is a lot of me and a lot of made up, and it just kind of smush it together kind of thing. And that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like this is someone who is living and real, but it's not, nice and clean or nicely worded. It's just kind of like, this is what it is, plain to the point, here it is. Every once in a while, like, a profound thought worded nicely thrown in. Very much reads like a memoir would. That being said, triggers! Highly recommend you look those up before reading if you are someone who has issues with sex work, queer hatred, I guess, Nothing totally terrible happens. It's just like talk. But there's also some very like graphically told post-sex things. It sounds so weird to say that. Graphic wording of some things. God, what else? If you have like alcohol or drug issues that you might not want to be reading and you don't want to read about this. Lots of triggers. Just look them up before you read the book. I'm not upset at having read the book. I was going to read it anyways. Eventually. I keep coming back to the fact that, like, this is the winner. The Canada Reads 2021 winner. And I'm kind of like, to say the thing you're not really supposed to say, would it have won if Canada wasn't grappling with its Indigenous problem at the time? You know, I feel like it's the same thing I maybe said about Five Little Indians. I was like, would it have won? It's hard to say. That's the thing I was discussing today in book club with Canada Reads, is like, what is the selection process? Because like the final process is like one celebrity representing each book in a debate, and then they have 5 of them vote at the end to see who they're voting off for that day, week, whatever it is. And so it's kind of like 5 of you are deciding what Canada Reads, you know? I feel like there's a lot more things that like bring in more outside influence. Like the Goodreads People's Choice is up right now. Like at my time of filming, it's been up for a couple of days. And so like, I don't want 100% of the public to just be like, I love this, because, you know, people who are like, I love this one thing are gonna vote for it and like get others to vote for it and fucking whatever. Anyways. Yeah, I'm not sure this would have been the winner if Canada wasn't dealing with their shit at the time. Not to say that Canada shouldn't deal with their shit. Canada should absolutely deal with their shit. I mean, I talk to a lot of my friends, I'm always like, you know, like their grandparents immigrated here. Maybe their great-grandparents immigrated here. In some cases, their parents, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, some of us have been here so long, I can't find the ones who immigrated. So, like, it's entirely possible my ancestors were maybe not great to, you know, Indigenous people. Because, yeah, well, none of us are fucking Catholic, but yeah. Yeah, it's not a winner for me. For me, it's not a winner. Based on the 3 that I've read right now, Butter, Honey, Pig Bread would have been my winner for 2021. To be entirely honest. So, should you read the book? Sure. If you think it sounds interesting reading about the indigiqueer experience, absolutely. Absolutely read the book. Like, I'm not to say there's nothing of value here. I'm not saying there's nothing of value. I'm just saying, for me, the way I've read it, it's not a winner. Is it still very good? It's good. It's just not my cup of tea. So on Goodreads, it has just over 12,000 ratings, equaling out to a 3.97, which is a respectable score. That's basically 4 stars. And so, like, I've actually absolutely seen people being like, this is great, this is wonderful, it's so, like, insightful. And yeah, it is. Like, I don't know about queer sex work in Winnipeg. I do now. Yeah, it's just a little all over for me. I think you saw I got a few tags there, just like a few lines that I was like, yeah, I like that. That's the thing I kind of want to remember. I love Jordan. Jordan is a fucking delight. I love her. I love his Kokum. She is supportive and loving and wonderful. And I wish everyone could have someone like that in their life, because not everyone has the parents or the grandparents that love them, right? You know? My dad's mom's horrid. It's got a lot of good elements. Like I said, it's just not a story I love for me. It always feels horrible saying that, you know? People put a work of art out there into the world and we judge it. That's how the world works. We're all judgy bitches. Alright. How many more times can I say it's not for me, but if it's for you, great. That's what it is, right? Okay. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you around next time.